on the schedule coming to town tomorrow night. A game I'm excited for. I don't know if you are. I know you've downplayed the whole motivation thing. Whether you downplay or whether you think it's real or not, you got to still at least be interested in how that's going to go and what's going to happen.
No. Right? And I didn't downplay it in the games against Kerr. I think the games against Kerr are where
you think the rest of the season.
I think all the other stuff is a waste. But I'm like Steve Buckley. I like stories. I like drama. I like narratives. Like this is a fun tale to spice up. But is Curry playing? That was the other thing.
Is he not?
Hasn't he been? He played last night, so he's back.
He's back. Okay, because that was the one thing I knew he had missed a couple games in a row.
He was back last night in Washington.
Because I don't want any of that crap. I want them to whoop them good, and have like Curry on the court and everything. That whole thing. No, I'm very much looking forward to this, and I give them credit for what they've done the last 3 games. The weird back-to-back.
Yep.
With the takeout by Grant Williams. We haven't had a chance.
We didn't get to talk about Grant Williams at all yesterday.
We haven't talked any. Yeah, like he invited them over for wings and then tried to kill Tatum.
What's wrong with Grant Williams?
Exactly.
What is wrong with that dude?
Including what he was wearing when telling Kyla Burton, I didn't do it. I didn't mean anything. He had this weird. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, I got to look it up. You got to look it up.
Okay, I'll check it out.
But yeah, like that flew under our radar kind of in the scheduling and everything that went on. That was.
Well, it had nothing to do with Drake May, so we didn't talk about it yet.
Right. But that was just dirty.
Mm-hmm.
He took him out.
Yeah, that was a Draymond Green play.
It's borderline not allowed in football anymore, where blindside blocks and like defensive receivers can't be hit like that. He took him out,
and he wasn't boxing out under the basket.
Oh no!
He was bringing the ball over half court.
Yes,
it was like he was trying to enter the zone in a hockey game, and then he got checked by
Matthew
Kachuk or something like that. I've never seen a play like that at that place on the court.
And you're right saying like Draymond Green or Grayson Allen. We've had these guys over the years that we accepted. They seemingly black out and do really dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like almost stuff they can't explain. But this is Grant Williams. I never realized he was that guy or did that type of thing.
He did say he idolized Draymond Green growing up.
Well, there you go.
He's going down that road because this was thankfully nothing really came from it. No brawl, no injury, no ramifications. It was just a really dirty play. It was a really stupid play.
I have a theory about this.
Ooh.
I have a theory about what happened there.
Do tell.
Because they used to be friends. Grant Williams and Jason Tatum were very close.
I thought they were still friends. They were supposed to go to his house for wings in between games.
I think Jason Tatum may have been Mr. Steal Your Girl with Grant Williams. I think something like that. That's what you run up and you deck a guy at midcourt like that who used to be your friend. Why would you do that? Like just think
personal.
About it. Right. I think something may have happened there. I think
they host a radio show together.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, that's enough to make anybody mad at somebody else.
Young Deuce was always new.
Remember that? He wouldn't
give him the
whatever it was.
And neither did Tatum in that very clip. Neither did Tatum. Mm-hmm. He gets up and walks right by him.
I think something happened there. I think there was a Mr. Steal Your Girl situation. And listen, I mean, if you're Grant Williams and you're hanging out with Jason Tatum a lot, right?
With your girl.
But Tatum's with LMA, isn't he?
Who knows? They're all pro athletes.
Yeah.
They're probably with whoever, whenever. And this may not have been. This may not have been recently. Maybe this was from a while ago. Maybe this was like a get back from years ago, and it just all bubbled up to the top right there. I have no idea. And I have no basis of information on any of this stuff. I'm just telling you kind of what it looked like to me. That's how it looked.
According to Page Sick, booed up singer LMA, Celtic star Jason Tatum getting matching 3 tattoos
Booed Up is a good song.
After welcoming baby. That's Page 6 one day ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just welcomed a new
They just had a
child,
baby
yeah.
yesterday?
No, Andy, did you say it was born
No, the
yesterday?
story just came out that they
but
welcomed
they
the
just
baby.
recently,
and they just got tattoos, matching tattoos.
Cool.
Yeah, he's been with LMA for a little while, but Arcan, the whole professional NBA
He's an NBA player. I mean,
what are we
come on.
saying here?
You know exactly what we're saying here. He's in the NBA. They go around all over the country, and I'm sure they do a lot of doing is going on, and it's fine. It doesn't matter. Either way, it seemed like there was something happening there between the two of them. That seemed like more than just a play on the court, or I'm getting you back for when you fouled me hard earlier in the game, or anything like that. That seemed like there was something deeper than that going on.
Wouldn't that also play to the way Tatum just got up and went to the free throw line?
Yes.
Like I had that coming.
Right.
Kind of. I got to just shut up and go.
That did happen. Like one of those.
See,
things.
I didn't know this theory, but now that I match this theory with the play in my mind, it makes sense. Because otherwise, I think Tatum gets up and wants to fight, unless he's just a meow.
Right.
But no, that would make sense. Like, you owed me that. We good now. Like that kind of thing. You took your pound of flesh.
Okay,
that was the revenge. That was your pound of flesh. Now we move on.
Something along those lines, sure. Interesting thing about those 2 games against the Hornets And why I was impressed by that, I mean, the Hornets suck, so it's not like you're really going to get super impressed by wins over those two teams. But one thing that did impress me, both of those games, the Hornets shot better from three in both of those games. They shot like 40% in those two games combined, I think. They were hitting their threes. And the Celtics were, but not that much. They were shooting like 33, 32%, if I recall correctly here. And I think that that's relevant. You know, we talk about this team, and we talk about how if their threes aren't falling and the other team's shooting better than them, they're in trouble. And that wasn't the case in those two games. And I think that that's at the very least, worth pointing out.
Yeah, no, they their 3-point shooting hasn't been great of late. Even it was 32%. So, like, they haven't been up with those dramatic games that they can put forth. And then, obviously, they're doing it without Jaylen Brown. And now some people may think, that's why they're doing it. So he's not shooting 1 of 11 from 3. And blah, 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 blah.
Ella May may be thinking that. I don't know about Deuce and the rest of them. I'm not sure. A lot of people are thinking that.
No.
But it is a fact. I mean, they are winning these games. Jaylen Brown's out with the hip injury, and they are winning without him.
And I like to try to look at that the way I would from afar, I guess. Like, we have whatever we think of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, the Jays, the Celtics, the evolution of that relationship. But if you just looked at a team from afar that included Tatum and Brown, and you say, well, they are 2 of the top 20 players in the NBA, and a team continues to roll and win with one of those players down, you give them credit for it,
100%.
regardless of what you think of the relationship, the team, the hierarchy. So I think they deserve credit for this. I also think it was important for them. We talked about it, Terp saying, you know, they'd only lost 2 games in a row a couple times last year, I think 4 times total. And these aren't good teams, but these are the ones you can't slip up. If you have great aspirations of wins and home and records and things of that nature, you can lose to a scrappy team, a good team, a team that matches up well against you, but you can't lose the second of the back-to-back. With there was one guy on the text line last week. I guarantee you they lose the second against Charlotte. Well, they didn't.
Nope.
You were wrong.
They
didn't lose to Atlanta, and they're not going to lose to the Warriors. And now I'm going to go all Howard Dean, and they're not going to lose the next one. And they're going on to come back to Boston, and they're going to win every game. Damn right. See, I tied in a little politics.
There goes your political career.
It's election day.
A little election humor for you there.
MAGA heart, check it in.
The Atlanta Hawks beat the Celtics a couple times last year.
Yeah.
That was a team they had trouble with. And Murray was on the team. It's not the same Atlanta Hawks, but, man, that team looked bad last night. That second quarter, they ran away with it, and I don't think they got within 20 for the rest of the game. Like, that was an ass-whooping.
I mean, just off the top of your head, there's like 2, maybe 3 guys you could name on that team.
Yeah, maybe 3. Maybe 2. It's not a lot.
I'll take the under on Andy.
Certainly not a good team there in Atlanta. The Warriors, different story, and they have them tomorrow night. No games tonight because the NBA doesn't have games on election night. The NHL could give a rat's ass. They got games all over the place. That the NHL does have games or the NBA doesn't.
Either or, like the whole logic behind it. I've done no research on this topic. I'm taking this Wiggy style. No knowledge on this topic. Just going to talk about it. Well, I've heard him say that. I've heard Wiggy start arguments.
Defined it that way.
I have no information on this topic, but ... and then he explains his opinion. Is this like racial? Is it like are there lines here? Has the NBA and social justice units said we're not going to play games? Like, you know, get out and vote? Are there real reasons for it?
I was just going to say,
is it ratings based or anything? Like,
and this is probably wrong, but I was going to say,
so you did no research either.
No, I didn't research it. It just happens to be the case. I think in the NHL. So many of the players in the team are Canadian. Like, right. There's a bunch of teams in Canada. I don't know what percentage of it is, but it's a large percentage. And the NBA is international now, too. It's not like they're not. But they're still majority American, I would say. And maybe a little bit more active in social justice stuff. Like, yeah,
I'm just wondering.
Something to do with that.
Or is it simple business? We won't get the ratings we usually get if we play that.
Yeah, and the NHL's like, no one's going to watch.
We don't get ratings anyway. So our few fans that care will watch either way.
Yeah, and they're all watching from Montreal or something, and they care less about the American elections, and that's the way it is. I'm not sure. It may be one, maybe the other, but it is interesting how there's no NBA games. The NHL is playing, and also for the Celtics, there's some bad teams that they just played. The Milwaukee Bucks are 1-6. The Milwaukee Bucks are the worst team in the East right now? I think they are. I think they have the worst record in the Eastern Conference. The Sixers are 1-5. Those are supposed to be your two of your primary opponents, right?
According to Tankathon, the Bucks currently have the number 1 pick in the draft.
And I think the Sixers have the number 2 pick, right?
The Sixers are 3.
The Sixers are 3rd.
Utah is 2nd.
There you go.
Imagine that having Giannis and you're in line. Now, they're 1-6. We're 7 games into an 82-game season, but imagine having Giannis and having the number 1 overall pick.
I know. I know.
Might want to load
Giannis,
manage him for a while.
Dame Lillard and the #1 overall pick. It's pretty
Well, I don't know
weird.
if you saw last week.